Close to home in West Bloomfield in February, multiple break-ins from vehicles were reported in the local area, and those crimes have now been resolved with help from investigators across our local area. But they come with some surprising results, with personal belongings from wallets to credit cards to social security cards, driver's licenses, and even firearms being among that stolen from multiple vehicles across our local area. So what do you need to know about this string of crimes, and what can you do to prevent falling victim from similar incidents in the future? Joining us for more information is Deputy Police Chief for the West Bloomfield Police Department, Scott Mong. Thank you so much for being with us, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good to have you on to talk about this, because at first when you see this news, you think that this is quite jarring. It's quite surprising and may be some worrisome for some people in our community. The good news is this particular string of vehicle break-ins has been resolved. Give us a little bit more details on that than what I've already provided.
Sure. So back on February 13th, our dispatch center received numerous calls from 4 different addresses that vehicles had been broken into overnight down in the south end of the township, 14 Mile and Halstead area in an upscale neighborhood. And officers took the police reports and learned that vehicles had been unfortunately left unlocked in in front of the homes, in driveways, and parked in the roadway. And someone had overnight gone in and removed numerous property items. We had a total of 4 incidents in West Bloomfield, but there was numerous other incidents from other surrounding areas that were suspected to be linked to the same suspects.
Yeah, and in all the results, this individual, the string of vehicle break-ins led to, among the findings from a search warrant, 75 credit cards, 2 vehicle scanners, 10 wallets, 4 social security cards, Michigan lottery tickets, a stolen firearm. This was quite extensive, but the good news is that between multiple departments in our local area, this person was able to be apprehended. But coming through this, with our community being affected, what should people be keeping top of mind when it comes to their personal belongings and their vehicles to prevent becoming victim to anybody that may commit some similar crime in the future?
Yes, that's a great question. And the answer to that question is, please do your due diligence and remove any items of value from the cars. Take them inside the home. If you're going to leave them inside the car, please, not in plain view. Put them into a container or an area that is not being able to be viewed through the windows, like the glove box, or maybe a rear area, a hatch or something that has a covering so it's not visible through the windows. But like I say, best option is to remove them from the cars and take them inside. And also, first and foremost, please lock your doors to your cars. It's a property crime, and people that are interested in committing these crimes, the easiest targets are the vehicles that have unlocked doors. And the suspects frequently do go around the subdivisions and pull on door handles and see which vehicles are unlocked, and those are the easiest targets for them.
And so when people are locking up their vehicles for the night, should they ideally put them inside a garage and then they can leave them locked or unlocked, or should they be locked no matter where they're at?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, if you are able to keep the car garage, that's going to be the best case scenario. I agree with you. I personally, when I put my cars in my garage, I lock them also. In the event that someone's able to gain entry into the garage overnight, or at some point when it's no one's around and the suspect's active, then if the car's locked, they're not able to get inside. So yes, I agree with that. I think that locking the cars while in the garage and then putting the door down is the absolute best case scenario for security.
And in terms of enforcement, this particular string of crimes, quite extensive over a long period of time, I would presume, and ultimately this person and others that were involved were presumably able to be apprehended and this taken care of. But these are not uncommon crimes that we see across all communities, regardless of whether they're one of the safest communities in the country, like we have here in West Bloomfield, or anywhere else in our neighboring area. And so from the law enforcement side, what does your team do to help prevent these sort of crimes from a patrol standpoint?
So it's a great point that you just made there. So larceny from auto is what we call this crime. And it is a property crime that essentially crosses all socioeconomic boundaries. So you're going to find crimes like this occur in lower economic areas, middle areas, and then in upscale areas like West Bloomfield as well. So a couple of things that we do as an agency. We have a crime prevention officer community relations officer. She is diligent in trying to send out the message on social media and otherwise to notify people and keep reminding them forefront of their mind to please be conscious about security, locking their car doors, like I've already mentioned. If possible, remove items, take them away from the car, put them inside your home, lock them up. Don't allow them to be in plain view. And also our patrol officers are very diligent about doing subdivision checks and being very present in the areas where the homes and the cars are in the subs to try and be a deterrent to would-be criminals.
Deputy Police Chief Scott Mong is with us from the West Bloomfield Police Department on today's edition of the Splash Live as we talk again about larceny from auto issues in our local community. Not exactly something that happens every single day, but it happens often enough, and there are certain things that lead to people being a little bit more susceptible to being at victim of these crimes. So we're trying to get that information out there with our local police department on how you can prevent yourself from being in that position yourself. Now, as we talk about enforcement from your side of things, there's only so many places that your officers can be at a given time when they're out on patrol. So how does resident help end up aiding in preventing these crimes, but also in reporting and ultimately enforcing the law when it comes to larceny from autos after the fact?
Another great question. So a lot of the time we are not able to solve crimes without the public's help. So when people are diligent and being aware and keeping their eyes peeled and observing things that they believe are suspicious, feel free to please call us with any suspicious activity that's observed, or if you witness what you believe is a crime that occurred, please contact the West Bloomfield Police Department. You can call 911 if it's an in-progress thing, or you can call our non-emergency number at 248-975-9200. Report any activity that you believe that we would have an interest in, and many times those tips lead to crimes being solved. So we appreciate those calls very much. Tyler, I want to mention one other thing, that the defendant in this particular case is presumed innocent. These are alleged things that contained in the complaint and warrant, and they're mere allegations at this point, and nothing has been proven. If the case has not gone to court yet, and it is still being adjudicated.
Right. So at this point, there is a defendant in this case, but nothing has been ultimately decided in a court of law that would then declare any sort of guilt in this case. A very good point from our deputy police chief. However, part of this investigation does go on. We have shown some photos on our page. We'll continue to show them, and we can put them back up again, guys at Master Control. Some of those photos that do show some of the recovered items that were stolen in these larceny from autos incidents. If you have any information on those items, who they may belong to, or additional information on this case, you can report that to the West Bloomfield Police Department. Detective Peruzzi is on the case at 248-975-8998. Again, contact Detective Peruzzi if you have any information on these stolen items, who they may belong to, or any information on crimes that may have been related to these items being stolen. 248-975-8998 and request to speak to Detective Peruzzi. Deputy Chief Scott Mong is with us from the West Bloomfield Police Department. Anything else that we should know on this case, or generally looking at larceny from autos prevention here in West Bloomfield and the surrounding area?
Just want to alleviate the public's fears, if they are anxious about the fact that this has occurred, that we're taking these matters very seriously. This was a matter that was investigated very well by our detective bureau, and they were able to get a multi-count felony warrant for the defendant and solve this crime. So just want to let the public know we take these things seriously. We are investigating all matters where there's any evidence or information to follow up on. We are diligent about that. So thank you for having me.
Appreciate your time, Deputy Chief, and appreciate the information. The best thing that we can do to not have these crimes occur in our local area is to take those preventative measures. Make it part of your routine to lock up your vehicle, to double check that, maybe take a walk around your vehicle after you've locked it in your driveway or in your garage, just to make sure there aren't any of those valuables present, and that will make such a huge difference. Deputy Chief, appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me.